Hello people of the verse and welcome to the channel as the Eradicator, and in this video we will be talking about DEFENSECON, which is basically Drake Interplanetary's take on the Invictus launch fleet. For some reason Drake Interplanetary is never invited in the Invictus launch fleet, simply because, well, the Invictus launch fleet celebrates the Navy and Drake Interplanetary doesn't have any contract with the Navy. It's pretty much the opposite. It's the people's company for the people, not really for the UEE, so that can explain why. It doesn't mean though that the players are not going to have access to some of those juicy ships from Drake Interplanetary. Some of them always on sale, some of them not always on sale, thinking about the Caterpillar for example, but there are also other ships that are not in the game yet that are going to come in the future, or in the near future, or in the foreseeable future, and some of them are particularly desirable, and we are going to talk about them in this video. The first one being the Vulture. Now the Vulture personally is not my favorite, it's actually my least favorite because I am not interested in salvage, but to make it short, the Vulture is going to be Drake Interplanetary's take on the Prospector. If you guys see a Prospector, right, it's a single-seater mining ship. Well, the Vulture is a single-seater salvage ship, so it's going to go into wrecks or with crash sites, and its job is going to be to take ships apart, to take their materials and components and then sell them eventually at other places. It is going to have 12 SCU of cargo capacity currently in production. So 12, that's actually less than the Prospector, which is at 32. So it's going to be also interesting to see how profitable salvage is, because if it is not as profitable as mining, then I think that a lot of people are going to be disappointing and they will not be making a lot of money with only 12 SCU of cargo capacity, unless it gets bumped, of course. Originally it was sold at $120, but now it is sold at $140 and only available at limited times, like right now, for example. It's not going to be a very fast ship. It's going to be, it's imagine you get in combat, it's only going to get at 165 meters per second, ideally though, and don't expect to be fighting with this ship. This ship is mostly going to be used as, just like the Prospector for example, for its utilitarian purposes, which is salvaging, obviously. Next, after the Vulture, we are going to talk about the Corsair. This is the one that I am the most excited about. I still have a couple of days. If I could take one, I will be super happy here. Originally sold at $195, it is now available at $215. Just always get a little price bump, right, compared to the original sale. That is the way it is. And so, officially, the Drake Corsair is a multi-crew explorer that gives up defense for a focus on versatility and defensive weaponry. That is the official speech. Of course, with that many weapons, this is not how people are going to be using this ship. As the name says, the Corsair, especially I come from a city where some of the most famous Corsairs have ever lived, which is the city of Saint Malo in Brittany. Thinking of Robert Surcouf, who was maybe the most famous Corsairs of them all. So I know things about Corsairs, and when I see this ship reminds me of the small ships that the Corsairs had in my hometown. Small ships armed to the teeth, and these ships were aimed at attacking bigger ships, taking their loot and bringing the loot back home. This is exactly what the Corsair is going to be about, because, well, let's have a look at its weaponry here. We are talking about 4 size 5 gimbaled weapons, 2 size 4 gimbaled weapons as well. That is going to be 6 weapons here available for the players, plus quite a few turrets as well. So this ship is also going to be armed to the teeth with, on top of that, 72 SCU of cargo capacity. Sure, when you will be flying a Corsair, you are not going to be able to take the entire cargo hold of a C2 Hercules, for example, but you will still be able to demand from the captain the most profitable boxes. That is what this ship is all about. For hit and runs, take the most valuable commodities and go back to your base. That is how piracy is going to be meant to be played. That is how piracy has always been done in the past, and that is how it's going to be in Star Citizen. That is why the Corsair is one of the hottest ships of this tale, in my opinion, right now. Next, after that, maybe after you finish taking all that juicy booty, right, from all of those traders, maybe you want to sell them, and maybe you want to sell them in a Kraken privateer, which is going to be the variant of the Kraken. Let's talk about the Kraken first. The Kraken, which is the capital ship from Drake Interplanetary here. It is a massive ship that is like a, let's call a multi-role light carrier. It has a whopping 3,792 SU capacity, at least on paper, but very light on crew, only between 1 to 10. I can't believe that you are going to be able to solo this, though. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Nevertheless, you'll be able to use its pads to launch and store some fighters, all the way to medium size, including cutlasses. So that is going to be a great mobile base for pirates. Now you gotta have to watch out though, because according to CIG here, they would like those they would like those capital ships to be persistent. So let's say, for example, you got a Kraken out there and you decide to log out. The Kraken will not disappear. It will remain in the verse, and people will be able to destroy it even if you are still sleeping in your real life bed. So you gotta have to be careful for that. Same with the Kraken privateer, which is going to get rid of some of that large cargo hold and change it into shops. So the cargo hold moves from 3,700 to 768 SCU, but you are going to have a bunch of shops that are going to be around for you to sell whatever you want to be selling, and that is going to be, let's say, the human equivalent of the Banu merchantman. People are thinking at a much more expensive price, obviously, because, well, it still is a much larger ship, which also used as a carrier and as a base. So yeah, those two ships here, the Kraken and the Kraken privateer, are limited ships, very exclusive, sold at $1,600 for the Kraken and $2,000 for the privateer, and only in limited stock only. By the time I tried to see if I could maybe sell some of my most expensive ships to get a Kraken, then they were already sold out. It's always the case, unfortunately. But anyway, there we have it, guys. These are, in my opinion, some of the hottest ships from Drake Interplanetary that are still in concept and that are actually being sold right now during this sale. If you are interested, pick up right now. I would guess that maybe the best choices right now would be the Corsair and the Vulture, because, well, the Vulture is going to come hopefully this year. Salvage is one of the priorities of CIG. Obviously, it's not on the roadmap because they don't want to create disappointments. They know how much people anticipate salvage and the ships that are going to come with it, so that's why they're hiding it. But we know that if we look at the progress tracker, they are working on salvage, including the Vulture as well. So we should expect them to be coming on the roadmap as these features get closer to completion. And the Corsair was briefly as well talked about this year. The Corsair is also visible on the progress tracker, probably will be released when Pyro will be coming as well, because it's going to be, as I said, the ideal ship for pirates, and you can be sure that players are going to be using it the way it is supposed to be used, not the way they say that it's going to be used when Pyro will be in the persistent universe. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to please hit the like and subscribe button if you like to see this kind of content on a regular basis. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more content on the channel. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.